Well guys, welcome to another video. Couple of little jobs on this car that I need to do, one of which is probably more important than I've been treating it. Decided to put it on coilovers and fit some wheel spacers and tyres, etc. before sorting this out, but it's been pretty bad on fuel, I would say. Maybe that's because I've been driving diesels the last couple of years, just because of fuel economy. I'm getting old and things like that are starting to matter to me. So yeah, I code read it a couple of days after I bought the car, and it, long story short, had a lean fuel code in there. So obviously the fuel mixture's lean. The fuel trims were adding, I can't remember now, but more than 10% short-term fuel trim, which means it's adding fuel because of the lean condition, basically. Now that could be because of a weak fuel pump, but it's still managing to get the car around. It could be the fuel filter under the car that's clogged up. That is very possible, because I can't see, the car's on 82,000 miles currently, but I can't see a receipt anywhere or any of the service stamps, you know, even from BMW and stuff, where they put inspection 1, 2, whatever, so listed what they've done, sort of thing. There's not a single receipt in there for the fuel filter under the car. So yeah, I'm hoping that that hasn't been changed in a weird way, because it means I've got something to do on that side of things. So yeah, if the fuel's a little bit rubbish getting up there, then it might be, the ECU might be realising that there's not enough fuel via the O2 sensors, which I'll show you in a minute, the fuel trims, because I've got the scanner plugged in, but the cable on it's really short. So I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you that in a second. But today I just kind of wanted to diagnose a little bit more. And see what was going on with it. Sorry, it's telling me the connection's lost. I had it all set up ready to show you. Entire data list. Okay, we're back on. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so I cleared the codes anyway. It had misfire detected with low fuel, as I say. I cleared it and that one's gone now, and I have done a couple of 100 miles at least since then. So the only code that's coming on currently is O2 bank 2 sensor 2. Not gonna lie to you, I'm rubbish when it comes to diagnosing stuff. I have to kind of simplify it in my head, and simplifying it in my head, I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't come easy, put it that way. I can read the fuel trims, I know that much. I can kind of gather what's going on in the cylinders with the firing from that a little bit, but the car's sluggish as well, which I noticed when I picked it up. It's quite flat to the point where it doesn't feel like the Vanos is really kicking in. Once you get it around the revs, it's lovely, but when it's under load, it's not really doing its job. So there's a few things to check anyway before I start going off on a tangent with you. So because of that lean code, as I say, that I'd had before anyhow, at least, I'd be normally looking at vac leaks, which is meaning there's too much air in the cylinder. That would be the result of that. So obviously, without taking the inlet manifold off and everything else like that, in my opinion, for what I want to do at least, currently, so I'm not out here all day on it and creating a mammoth job for myself, I might as well look at the closer things to hand. Like for example, the fuel filter I was telling you about just now. It's got the fuel pressure regulator on the end of that as well, which naturally that has a vacuum line that runs to what they call the F connector, which comes out just after the MAF sensor. There's a little 3mm pipe on that, and that 3mm vacuum line on that, sorry. I've and mine's really perished. So today I'm going to change that. It's 3mm. I've got, I think it's 3mm or 3.5, but I've got 4mm because the bloody hole in the end of it, look, the 3mm one, it looked flipping, it would look tiny. It looked like it was never going to go on. I mean, I might end up having to go back and get that yet, but anyway, let me show you these fuel trims so you can see the state of the lean condition. Get in a position where you can see it. It's only a little handheld thing, as you can obviously see. So you've got long-term fuel trim there. It's looking like it's all right as far as I can see, but plus or minus 10%, as far as I'm aware, isn't the best. So the short-term fuel trim is completely normal there currently, because it's not trying to add too much at all, and it's certainly not taking any fuel away. So I would say that is actually looking normal. Far more normal than it was before. It's quite good considering it's a Mac Tools one. So yeah, I mean, bank 2, I think it's looking alright. Bank 1, it's about the same. So in all fairness, the lean code's obviously gone because it's currently not showing an issue. However, the revs are sitting a bit low. Ignore those lights. And that backlight, that comes on and off for some reason, another thing I need to check out. Those lights are DSC. But yeah, anyway, that's another video, so I won't even think about that currently. Anyway, yeah, as you can see there, it's not showing really anything bad at all. But anyway, before, worst case, it was closer to what the long term was saying in the short term. So let me co-read it just while I've... got it in the hand. Oh. Okay, random. So there's now 2. Yeah. Interesting. That hasn't come on since the last time I code read it. I've code read it just now before I started this video. And that code wasn't there. So bank 1 is too lean. Clearly, as it tells you there. So yeah. Vacuum issue. Fuel pump issue. Yeah, weak fuel pump. Fuel filter clogged. Yeah. Regarding the vacuum issue, as I say, I'm going to replace that. I'll replace that pipe, little vac pipe there, because it's easy. Let me turn you around. Yeah. As well as that, I'm going to change the. What am I going to change? I'm not going to change at all. As well as that, the CCV valve is also something to note and to check. Now that is obviously, that's designed to remove the unwanted pressure from the crankcase, and it does that by pulling up pulls the gases out using the intake manifold, because as you all know, put your finger over the end of one of the vac pipes out of the manifold, and it's trying to suck your finger into it, you know. So so as you can imagine, it's pulling all the pressure out of there. So naturally, that's then creating the positive pressure in the crankcase. So I've done a test, the usual test on them, undo the oil filler cap, because of course that is connected to the engine itself, so you'll be able to feel any pressure. So it's trying to pull the cap down, not too much, but just a little bit. So it's trying to pull the cap down and seal it again, and it's doing that because obviously it goes through the head, down into the crankcase, which has got the crankcase vent valve connected to it, which then in turn pulls it up through the one-way valve and then into the intake manifold via the manifold's pressure. So if there's a fault in that system there anywhere at all, as you can imagine, you can take the cap off nice and easily, and it's not trying to pull it down at all, because obviously there's no pressure being pulled down. And if there isn't pressure being pulled down, like I said, there's definitely an issue in your CCV system there, which in turn will cause what's effectively a vacuum leak, which will then cause this lean code to come up, and rough idling and things like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm not doing all that today. I feel like I've ruled that out today. I've done a quick visual inspection of the CCV valve, and from what I can see, it looks okay. It's not cracked, it's not worn, it's not perished. In fact, it actually looks new. Right, so I'll show you what I was on about. If you can see that, that's what goes down to the fuel pressure regulator. So I don't want to damage it just yet, just in case the pipe isn't the right one. I need to prop you up somewhere, don't I? Yeah. One sec. They've wrapped it up so I can't do it one-handed. Right, I've got the pipe. Don't know how good this footage is going to be, by the way. I will watch it back before I post it out. Okay, well, I was. I was trying to be a bit careful with that, but it seems to be coming out of there a bit too far. You never know, that might be our problem. That's just pulled quite a way out there. Hopefully that does fit over. Come on. It's clearly the original one. Jesus. Must be the original one because it's got glue to it. Whereas obviously it should just pull off. I'm a bit concerned about that line pulling up so far out of there. If it's disconnected from the other side, then that's a bit of a problem, because as I say, that's the fuel pressure regulator side. Jesus. Literally trying to pick that off. Look. Oh good, I was right to get the 4mm stuff, because as I say, in realoem.com it's saying it's the, I think it's 3.5, 3.5 or 4mm one. Oh yeah, you right? Push that back on there as far as it was on. I'm a little bit worried about that now though. I don't know why that pulled so far out. Push that down there out of the way. this off here. Screwdriver. Oh yeah, it's come off that side much easier. Still though, very broken up. Whether that was causing an issue or not, I don't know. But I've got a bin down there, by the way. I'm not littering. Anyway. Maybe the smaller one might have been better because it's not making the best connection. I'll grab some. Put a cable tie around it. Cable tie going on. Hopefully that secures it on a bit more, but hey, 1 sec. Right, I think that's tight enough anyway. Sure we'll find out. The condition gets worse. Yeah. That's that anyway. I should, unfortunately, I know I'll probably need to get under the car and check that. Because it seems to pull out. That's nice and tight on there now. Right, let's see. What this is doing now. It's only one little job. Not necessarily going to cure the world, but something I noticed, so I've changed it. Looking at the condition of that though, it's still revving up alright anyway, so yeah, hopefully I didn't pull that vac line out of the pressure regulator underneath the car, because the car's a nightmare to jack up as it is, and that regulator is underneath the tin cover, which creeps up and up towards the bulkhead as well, underneath the bulkhead as well, you know. So yeah, a bit of a nightmare. But I definitely do need to check that. But it's maybe it was out before, maybe that's why I've been able to pull on it so much. But I might get under there in a minute and have a look. But for now anyway, guys, I know that's pretty short and sweet as always, but we'll have to start trying to not be so impatient and actually string these videos together, do you know what I mean? Try and create a bit more. I'm just sort of putting things in separate videos because I find it helpful myself personally without having to scroll through a whole video to see the problem that they're talking about in the title, do you know what I mean? So something like this, hopefully it's 10-15 minutes long or something, do you know what I mean? So you can just go on there and see what I've talked about. Obviously we've touched on a few things that I think it could be, just in my personal situation today at least. Being lazy. It's my Saturday, it's my third day off work, and I don't want to be jacking the car up, and I don't want to be taking the inlet manifold off, but make sure you guys don't be so lazy and you do that. Alright guys, it was bugging me. Yeah, can't see that down there, but I've got an end like this down there as well, which should be on the pressure regulator. So clearly it's not, so that'd be a vacuum leak. Also, the fuel won't be being regulated properly, so fingers crossed, that is our problem. So yeah, guys, that is supposed to be on the fuel pressure regulator underneath the car. What's your opinion? Did I pull on that too much? I don't think I did. I'm actually going to watch this video back myself, and I'm going to see whether I pulled on that pipe too much. I don't think I did. I've got hold of it in my hand to fit the other bit of pipe to it. I don't think I pulled on it. So, in my opinion, that's been off the whole time. Which hopefully that's my problem. It's running currently. But yeah, anyway, a little bit more to the video. I might piece that in at the end of this video, or I might not. But either way around, I'll change it, and I'll either film it or just get back to you with the results and see what it was like. Right. Turns out it's not the end of the video, guys. Decided I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to sort this problem. Not going to lie though, it is the next day, but I need to get under there. Can't see it, but take the panel off. And then, yeah. Panel off, 8mm screws, bolts, whatever you call them. Take the cover off, and then pretty simple job really. But yeah, might be a bit longer with filming, but get the bonnet open, get it done. Alright guys, wish me luck. Little support. It's not holding loads, but just on the off chance that does want to try and drop, I've got some sort of safety. Anyway, might not even be high enough yet. But yeah, there's the bolts I've got to take off. I managed to scrape them already off the plate. Let me just move a minute, because yeah, there's the other ones. The other ones there, and then I gather there's some further up as well. I don't think you can really see very much there, but another 8mm towards the middle of the car, 2 on the outer, 1 on the inner, and then there's 1 or 2 up the front as well, like I was saying before, on the up towards the bulkhead area. Don't know if I can even get my bloody hand to it. What do you reckon, guys? Is this safe or not? So, annoyingly, there's a bolt up there somewhere. I can't get the bloody hammer onto it. But it's there somewhere. I think there's only 1 on there, but yeah, I can't even get you lined up properly to see it. Right, so anyway, it looks as though it's not going to let me take the front 2 bolts out. They look like they come out from the other side randomly. There's no bolt on this side. It's you just see the thread sticking out towards this side. When this camera focuses, you'll see. Anyway, I don't think it's going to focus, but that's the where the vacuum line needs to go on, so I shall fit that. A bit difficult to film because this cover's in the way, but you can see what I mean anyway. Alright, I'm out. I just blanked it because I needed to drive it last night and this morning. So, get this bolt out of here. That's the other bit of pipe in there. It feeds down there, I don't know if you can see that. Into that little clip there, guides it. I'm sure there's other ones along the way, but I'll get those underneath. But yeah, underneath that. Right guys, that's it on. All I've done, you haven't missed much, I just fed it through. Couldn't find any more clips for it to locate into, but yeah, vac line onto there, into the hard vac line, and it's just pushed in about ½ inch, I think, a little bit less, but that's fine. You have to forgive my filming, but I'll wobble that a little bit, just about see it moving there, but it really doesn't go that far up, it's only just up the bulkhead and that's about it. Swinny out now, just to put this cover back on. Cover back on. 8mm there. 8mm there. And 8mm there. Done. Alright, now that we've done that, I'll check what this is saying now. Read them, just double check that nothing else has come on overnight. And a couple of journeys I have done. I'm assuming it's just going to come up with the 2 codes. Okay, one of them's disappeared, even though I didn't. The lean code has disappeared on its own. The O2 sensor still isn't happy. Bank 2, sensor 2, so I'm assuming that's downstream after the cap between cylinders 4, 5 and 6. But that may well just be a problem with the, well I say just, that may well be a problem with the cap, but that's not all bad because I am going to buy downpipes for it. Anyway, so that's good. The lean code's disappeared on its own, but whether or not it would disappear that quickly from, you've literally just seen me do it and there genuinely wasn't any space and I've just turned the car around. Still idling the same. I'd have thought that's a little bit low. I'll do a little test run now, obviously, and I'll see how you know how it is to drive, because obviously normally, you know, at traffic lights and things like that, it's dipping a little bit low. So when you pull off, if you don't know what you know how to, if you don't know it's going to do it, you're going to end up stalling because the revs are a little bit low for pulling off. But it makes no difference to me in the slightest. I just pick the revs up just naturally by a few hundred. Check the data stream, the entire data list. Metal status is off, but it's been off the whole time anyway. Bit annoying that I couldn't get that cover off. Just sat here thinking about it now. I need to change the filter, so I don't know what I'm going to do come that time. My arm's shaking a little bit, can you? I don't know if you can tell. So I guess, as we saw early on in the video, short-term fuel trim's fine. I think long-term has come down a little bit. I'll have to watch the video back and check. Hopefully that continues to come down. And yeah, it's not trying to add loads even while I'm accelerating. If anything, it's adding more on on idle. Okay, so they're matching each other. Okay, so that's interesting. The short-term fuel trim isn't trying to... It's going to -0. So, as I say, I'll watch the video back, but that's an improvement for sure. Which would make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. I should probably look at you while I'm talking, shouldn't I? Yeah, it'd make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. Because essentially that would have been a vac leak, and why does my face look so red in this? Jesus, I've been to the gym this morning as well. And I had a boiling hot shower. Anyway, yeah, so you never know, that might have fixed it. I shall see. Got a little bit of a journey to do later on today. 40, 50 mile round trip, so out of town and back quickly, so I'll update in the next video, I guess, what it's saying. Hopefully the fuel economy goes up slightly. I can't see it going up much though, because these aren't the best around town anyway, on fuel. But yeah, anyway, was the end of the video. It's definitely the end of the video this time. I think it's probably quite a good size video now. It's probably over half an hour long, and I'll drop it today. I was going to be a bit more patient and drop it next week, so you got one every week, but I'll drop it today and then I'll do another one next weekend. I'll try and be a bit more consistent with it. But yeah, see you in the next one.